How we doing today? I hope everybody's having a great. My mustache is in full effect. I don't mind my little mustache, by the way. I've had a mustache since high school, so. But I just happened to see it. Mm, it's looking kind of musty, mustachy. Oh, now hope my lip not looking musty. Hi, y'all. I hope everybody's having a great day. It is the middle of the week, and yeah, that's what it is. So if I'm looking down, y'all, I'm gonna be looking down sometimes because I'm trying to figure out. Because today is random day. I don't have anything specific, just things that have hit me today. You know what I mean? Things when I'm gonna watch TikTok or watch TV that it just. Leilani, did you say I need lip deodorant? If my lip must, people be outside and do bad breath cause the rest musty lips? I was just wondering, cause people just be outside talking to you. I used to have this when I first started waiting tables. When I first started waiting tables, I had this guy who trained us, right, and he was funny as hell, and he would tell us stuff all the time. And after about, and he was the reason that after a while I just started talking crazy. You know what I mean? So after about 3 or 4 months, I was training people. So I had this trainee, and now I was telling baby, I said I need a retainer or something for my teeth. You know what I'm saying? You get older, you notice your teeth be moving. But let me tell you something. What I don't, I feel like you should know things. I feel like if you lose a tooth, they should tell you, hey, if you don't get a retainer, your teeth gonna move apart. They should let you know that. But I'm thinking, because I'm old and don't really think about stuff like that until it happens, that your teeth don't move once you get old. Once you get your teeth the way to go. But anyway, I say all that to say this. So this guy, his mouth was messed up. It wasn't like separating. It was messed up. But anyway, but that wasn't the messed up part about it because a lot of people smile without showing their teeth. I used to. Ask DC. We first got together. I didn't take pictures and shit like stuff like that, and I would smile like this. So a lot of people smile without opening their mouth, and a lot of people who have bad teeth learn how to talk to where you really can't see it. But anyway, that was not the problem. The problem was not the visuals. The problem was the odor. And they were like, now I was young when I first started waiting tables. I was in my early 20s. And they were like, you got to be nice and da 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 da. I'm like, well, if we wait tables, if we with people, you know what I'm saying? I should be, and you musty or your mouth or your breath stink. You know what I'm saying? You can't help how your teeth are. Everybody don't have it. It costs $1,000 to get teeth fixed, all that stuff. Hey, Journey, all that stuff. So everybody can't just run to the dentist and get a full grill of new mouth. So I ain't what I'm talking about. But toothpaste, you can get it for 99 cents. You go to the dollar store back when it was $1 and get full close up.
Hold it and wipe the front lens.
Oh, hold on. I gotta wipe some, y'all.
Wipe it hard. Just wipe
I
the
don't know
top.
where it's at. Where
At
it's
the
at?
top. Anywhere at the top. Just wipe
Okay, I
across.
gotta wipe across the top. Hold on, y'all.
Let me see.
So I wiped it. I think I look the same. But anyway, so he was in my face talking to me. And he had a slight attitude problem. This was back in the 90s, early 90s. I think we all had attitude problems in our 20s back in the 90s. So I don't know. But I don't know whether he just didn't like a woman telling him what to do, or my delivery might have been a little, me. But he was in my face telling me something. I said, first of all, you're assaulting me. Back up about 3 feet. Back up about 3 feet, sir. And he like, huh? I said, your breath is hot. Do you go to tables like that? He was like, and then somebody else said, because I was a trainer at the time, Somebody else said, you can't tell him that. I said, why not? I said, wait a minute, let me get this right. Y'all, we not supposed to tell trainees that they can't be musty and their breath can't be funky in front of these customers. That is unacceptable. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Not everybody bathes the same. Not everybody has the same hygiene regimen. It just is what it is. However, when you work with the general public and you work with a plethora of people on a daily basis, there has to be certain things that are across the board. Don't be funky and brush your teeth. You can't help how your teeth are arranged in your mouth, but you can help the fire that comes out of it. Okay? So I was like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Now I ain't gonna lie. I used to have this guy. Well, it was like at one of the, you know how you get in there's a core group of servers and a core group of friends at your job, and it was like three or four of us that had been at the same job for like 2 or 3 years, and we like thought we kind of ran the place, so we did kind of what we wanted to do. And but his thing was, um, he used to not put deodorant under one arm, and I was like, why do you stink? Because I told him one day, I said, why are you funky? He said, it's only under this arm. I said, what the hell is you talking about? He was like, well, every now and again, especially if I think if after people done piss me off, I will not put deodorant under one arm. And if you piss me off, that's the arm I serve you with. I said, wait. Now, I'm not going to do that because I can't be funky. Because you can't be a big girl. You can't be a black girl. This is why. He only didn't put it up under one arm. He was clean. He wasn't like he was, wasn't like you look at him and go, oh, he stank. It was, now, he was a white boy and he was a little skinny, but he was, stoner kind of white boy, but he was funny. And it was what it was. But you still wouldn't look at him and go, oh, he funky. But if you pissed him off, if you were rude, if you didn't tip, whatever, that's how he would serve you. That's how he would serve your food. Now you can complain. Here's the thing: you can come back and complain about him. That's fine. But you done already smelt it, so I mean, does it really matter if you complain? Yeah, yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I used to I watch these content creators that do skits about working in restaurants, bartenders, servers, and I listen to the things that customers do nowadays and how they react, and I'm like, uh, what? It's like especially now when you have content creators, just the funky arm. Absolutely. Absolutely. He would make sure that when he served, because we had the way our restaurant was set up, we had a side that was booths, four tops, two tops. We had a horseshoe around the bar which had high tops and low tops, but they were round. And then on the other side we had four tops and two tops. Now, imagine, if you will, that you're sitting near the window because the four tops would have you sitting near a window. Imagine if I have to serve you, and the tables were kind of close together, so you really couldn't, if everybody was seated in the section, you really couldn't go behind them and go to each individual person. You would have to pass it over someone. So normally what I would do if I had these tables, I didn't have them on a regular basis. After so long, I picked out my own section and I had the round table. So I didn't have to, I had different situation. Anyway, but I would serve the people that were furthest away first so that I wouldn't have to reach over somebody's food. But that's just how I did. And most of the good servers and most of the ones that weren't new, that's how we did it. If you had those tables, you would serve from the back to the front as opposed to front to the back. But anyway, he would and he would make it a point to where he would get that good arm up over you and get up on you so you had to hit. I'm like, I watched him one night. I didn't know what he was doing. This was after I figured he told me what he was doing. I watched him one night. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Why you all up in that man's face like that? He said, cause they pissed me off. I said, huh? He said, yeah. I said, what are you doing? That's nasty. They don't be over nobody food like that. He said, nah, I only got deodorant under one arm. I said, and then he told me this story. So, yeah, if y'all ever get to go to a restaurant and y'all piss off y'all serving, y'all find a funky arm, that's why. You brought that on yourself. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. See, I'm very random today. So if I start talking, I'm gonna talk about all kind of stuff today. So ain't nothing gonna be just. I ain't really ain't picking on nobody. I'm picking on everybody. Um, Before I started waiting tables, I was, I didn't tip and I didn't understand, the people think it's what's the word I'm looking for? Easy. That's an easy job. Nobody thinks it's a real job. Nobody. I've dated people that like waiting tables, bartending. That's not a real job. I've had customers come in and say, "When you gonna get a real job?" Da 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 da. Um, the reality is that that's a real job as any other job. And on top of having to serve people food, you have to deal with these people sometimes for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. When I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, I had to deal with customers for the length of games and boxing matches and boxing events, which are sometimes 4 or 5 hour events. On Sunday and Saturday, we had football. Now I ain't work on the weekend after so long, but during soccer championships, when you have FIFA, we would have people come in at 11 o'clock and leave at 4 o'clock. So you have to deal with people. It's not like when you're a cashier and I have to deal with you for the length of your groceries. And I really don't have to deal with you because I scan, you tap, have a nice day. You have to deal with these people, and a lot of people have an attitude and mad with you because they husband complimented your eye color, and or your husband was like, or you said, baby, we were in the South, I'm Southern. I said, how y'all doing? I don't. Yes, you got to have excellent hygiene. Hey, Shadrika. um you I was watching a girl do a skit where she had somebody come in and say that she's going to be filming during her eating process. She's going to be live. So, don't say nothing. And I really haven't had to deal. Here's the thing. I really haven't had to deal with the whole social media thing because I worked in a sports bar. You really, I really didn't have to deal with that. But I'm sure nowadays you have people that come in and think that their food is supposed to be free because they're an influencer and because we can post on my channel. I mean, we never did that. I never thought that we go in and I have 10,000 followers, so we get to eat our cheeseburgers free. I don't. That's not me, but she was doing a skit where this lady came in and these are all real. She said the skits that she do are real things that happen. And she said the lady came in, ordered food for her plus food to go, and she told her, I'm going to be live, so please don't say anything when you come back. First of all, I don't think I could be a server now, and you have people that are going to come and tell me that I shouldn't say nothing because they going live. Girl, we going live. Because I'm not going to sit up there and especially if you rude about it. No, we live together. Or you don't eat. I'm sorry. No. So so this particular situation, the girl says I do it all the time. I go live, and then the people that I'm live with, they send me money, and that's how I pay for my food. I'm about to call the police on you. You go in somebody's restaurant with no money, order 30, 40, 50, $60 worth of food, whatever. I don't forget how much it was. And the how you pay for it are donations from your subscribers. First of all, I hate to see people just begging on online. I do. Because here's the thing, we all going through it. We all having a hard day. A lot of us are one a spring shower away from being broke. A lot of us. And I can understand, excuse me, I can understand if you getting on there saying, um, a child is sick, my wife is sick, I can't work, could y'all help me out? Every now and again, every once in a while. Excuse me, y'all, so I'm making my throat itch. My bad. Y'all see my butterfly? My butterfly. All right. Sorry, my throat was itching. Excuse me. But just begging every time you see him. Y'all send me something. Where my whatever. I don't even know what this thing called. What's this thing called, baby? Super chat. Is that what it's called? Babe.
Huh?
That's what it's called. A super. You don't hear me? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking
She
about.
got her headphones on. That's just like I get on here with y'all and I'm telling y'all, uh, what my super chat at? What my $2? What $5? What
Dry
my
begging?
yeah? What is that?
Dry begging?
Yeah.
You saying yeah, but you're not telling them. Dry begging?
Oh, I said begging.
Dry begging.
What's what's wet begging?
I said dry begging.
Right, you said dry begging like begging is begging. I don't understand. What's the difference between dry begging and wet begging? All of it's
Ain't nobody
begging.
saying wet begging, baby.
You know what I'm saying? You said dry begging. Ain't it all just begging? I don't understand if there's a difference. Is there a difference between that? I'm asking. But anyway, I digress. Oh, my head hurt. Anyway, and that leads me on to something else. So there are creators. Now I don't remember this person's full creator thing on I don't know. We begging is when we directly say I need some money. Oh, wet begging. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got it. See, that's why I understand. Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I think one time we said something when Nick was like, we first started. I think we said Nick needs some school supplies and somebody want to send her. But I don't even think nobody did, and I don't really think I cared. Hold on. Dry begging is when you just keep mentioning it. Oh, okay. See, that's what I got you. I got you. Here's the thing. Nobody's obligated to help nobody. Would it be nice if the world would fund my life? Sure. It would be nice for everybody. Everybody should, if that's the case, we should all be begging. But that's not the reality. Because here's my thing. Here's my thought process in it. When I follow creators, either on YouTube or TikTok or wherever I follow people, I follow like-minded people, people that I can identify with. I don't follow a whole lot of celebrities and people with a whole lot of money. I don't follow a whole lot of uh, stuff that I don't identify with or that I don't believe in. I don't. I don't. I don't. So that means I'm following people like me. Some days I might have an extra $5 to give you, and some days I might need that $5. So I'm not gonna ask for it ever. Because I know that just about everybody is one bad day away from not being able to pay your rent, not being able to get your kids the stuff they need, not being able to feed yourself. One bad decision away from not having a job, one injury. So do I appreciate if somebody give me something? Absolutely. But that begging stuff, that's not me. If they do it, do it. If people want to give, give. But I don't understand. Because I feel like if you do something, you should be doing something to get it. Does that make sense? If I was performing a service, I would expect you to pay me. If you wanted a bartender and you wanted me to bartend at your event, you wanted Lisa, DC and Lisa, the bartender at your event, and that's the thing I expect you to pay me. If I'm just sitting up here looking crazy, what's the fee for that? What's the fee for crazy looking? I don't know. But anyway, that leads me to this. So there is a so I don't understand rage content to where either you're just so trifling that you see that people respond to your trifling, or you're just so clueless that you don't think it's nothing wrong with it. So there's a content creator on TikTok who, I don't know how I'm gonna put it. I'm trying to be. I think I'm trying to. Hold on. Leilani says. Okay, the steel dry bag. Okay. Um, she's disgusting. She has a 4 bedroom, 2 or 3 bath house, and they are disgusting. They are. It is diapers and food under the bed and on the floor, and the carpet is crunchy. You can see it through your phone on your screen that if you walk, it just, you catching something. Just opening the front is a mess from the front door to the back door. And she builds her content around, I don't know whether she says she's depressed and can't clean up, which is fine, but you ain't so depressed you can't film content all day. You so depressed that you can't clean up, but you can carry that phone around and show that you got dishes in the sink from 3 weeks ago, and you got food cake to the front of the refrigerator, or you got kids that you ain't gave a bath to, or but you can make sure all this is filmed and content is contenting. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I be trying to see if something come up. Um, but anyway, I digress. So I don't watch that content. I don't watch rage baiting content. I don't do that. That's not my jam. I don't watch it. Um, what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't watch people who use their family and their kids in a negative manner for content, clicks, likes, and views. I don't do that. I don't watch people that use their children as content. That's just my personal thing. I just don't. It's one thing to have your family in your videos, like we have our kids and our grandbaby in our videos, but the videos are not wrapped around. Our content is not our kids. We're not, we didn't make them do anything. We had to force, Nick, come say hi. Hey, bye, bye, hey. Who the hell wants to see that? But that's not my thing. But anyway, so she's been doing this and she had hundreds of thousands of followers. She had people that watched her religiously, people that hyped her up. And I don't even know whether she said she was depressed. I think somebody said that she's like that because she's depressed, or I don't know whether or not it was stated. Again, like I said, I don't follow her. This particular rant is not about her by herself. It's about something else. So there is this home cleaning creator that records herself cleaning houses. She does deep cleaning, like quarters and things like that, like deep cleaning. Like, now, I personally wouldn't have went in there with, just because she had on like regular clothes, some shorts and a t-shirt and just some gloves. I personally wouldn't have went into that house without a hazmat suit, the mask and everything, because I'm sure she had to delouse and hot. It she the, it. You ever just looked at something and know you caught something by just looking at it? That's how the house was. But anyway, so she went in there, paid for her flights, paid for her hostel because it took her 3 days to clean this place up. Paid for the house, paid for housing, for somewhere to stay, paid for the flights to get there because they were like, they live across country from where the people who had the cleaning place to the house that I'm talking about. She took 3 days. She cleaned up from under the beds, cleaned the kitchen, everywhere. She couldn't get the whole house because she only had 3 days, and it was every room. It was a four bed. It was a big house, but she got the bedroom, she got the kitchen, she got the laundry room, she got the bathrooms, she got the majority of the house, and she went out of her way to make sure that she didn't redecorate her house. You know, you come in and somebody come, and I don't know how she could redecorate it. I don't know how the hell she could what's the word I'm looking for? Mess up her system, because it wasn't no damn system. The system was nasty. A system of nasty. That's what it was. It was nasty. Anyway, so she did that. She recorded the content, and she records all her content. She records her when she cleans the houses. And not all the places that she cleans are like that. Some of them are not as bad. I don't think she's had a worse house, but most of them are just normal. I clean. I forget what she calls. I forget her name. I should have got the name of the place, but it's compassionate cleaner. She goes in the elderly, people who can't clean for themselves, disabled. That's basically what she does, and she streams her content because that income from the content helps her purchase the cleaning supplies and to go to places to help people who can't clean for themselves. So she did all that. She finished. She said, I didn't want to um, mess with her stuff. So when I cleaned the kitchen, I put all her items, like her small appliances and things like that, on the table so that she could put them back on the counter the way she wanted them. Because you know how some people, when somebody goes in and messes up their system, they get pissed off. So she said, I didn't want to mess up her system. She said, when I cleaned out the cabinets, I just put the stuff back in there the way I found it. But the stuff on the counters and stuff, I just wanted them to do it their way. Anyway, so she is explaining herself. And then I come to find out, because if you don't follow these people, because I didn't follow them, they just popping up on my FYP, that if you don't follow them, it just comes back randomly. So I didn't know why she was doing all that explaining. Because I've seen different content creators. Because I can sometimes watch the cleanup videos, but sometimes it's just too nasty. So, uh, come to find out, instead of her being grateful for this lady who has spent her money, she didn't ask for anything. She didn't ask her for any money. She didn't even ask her to shout her out on her channel. The only thing she did was film her content in the house when she was cleaning. She filmed her cleaning content like she does with every other house that she does. She feels like she wants the content in. So, come to find out, I want to say her name is Amanda something. Not the cleaner, but the house. She goes on talking about how the lady messed up her house and flooded her house. Now, why she says she flooded it? Because they cleaned the laundry room. And in the laundry room, instead of the washing machine being set up correctly to where the water drains out the way it's supposed to drain out, they have the water draining into the mop sink that's in the laundry room. And she said that they flooded my house, they plugged up the sink, and they just made it worse than it was. Now, if I had bootleg rigged my washing machine for it to wash, wouldn't you, if you had your stuff kind of bootlegged up, wouldn't you check it before you wash? Especially when you have people who don't know your system in your house, right? They didn't wash clothes. I don't think they wash clothes. I don't remember her saying anything about washing the clothes. I wouldn't put my hands in their dirty clothes. I don't give a damn how much content it is. However, I don't think they wash the clothes. They clean the area. They put the clothes in there. Hold on. You're hot to what the hell? Anyway, um, I don't know who that is. Hold on, let me see, cause I can't. I don't know if somebody. Y'all know I be trying to read the content. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Leilani. I'm like, who the hell to talk to his grandmama? But anyway, troll away. I don't care. Um. So for some reason, and then the girls whose house was clean, for some reason her channel got taken away because she was doing stuff with her kids that, you know. But I'm not speaking ill against her because I don't know. But my thing is this: somebody has done a service for you, and this lady is crying because they're attacking her because this the Amanda chick has followers, and you know how people who follow and they go and attack people and da 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 whoop de whoop. I'm like, they're attacking her and saying that she did this and the third. I'm like, no, what she did was go into a hazmat situation, clean up disgustingness for free of charge, and you don't say thank you. You don't say I appreciate what you did for me. You come on here attacking her, talking about she made it worse than it was. The only way it could have been worse than it was is if you shit in the floor. And I am not 100% certain that her or them children did. Now, let me tell you something. That leads me into this one. Everything is leading me somewhere. So follow me down this road, if you will. There was also another video I saw. Because a lot of my stuff I get from content from other people's content. But it makes me think about stuff. So this young lady was making a video about how don't have all these kids. She was crying and slobbing and spit flying everywhere, talking about how grandmamas ain't grandmamas no more, and if you got a whole lot of kids, you ain't got a village no more. And do you really think now? Do you really think that grandmothers of any age were happy, ecstatic about giving their every waking moment to kids they didn't have? I'm just asking. Now she's screaming and hollering because her mama don't want to watch her kids every weekend, or don't want to watch her kids when she just want to go hang out. So she is in there talking about don't have children because there ain't no villages no more. No, it's not about you not having so many kids because somebody else won't watch them. It's about you not having kids because you're not prepared to watch them. Because the reality is there are thousands of people who are alone in this world, who don't have immediate family, who don't have anybody to where they can that will just stop their life to watch their kids. A lot of people have grandmamas and granddaddies and hell, great grandmamas and great granddaddies that are still working because Social Security is not paying the bills. But you think that because you done graced somebody with a grandbaby, we are at your beck and call. Now we live in the house with our grandbaby. She can come down here when she wants to. And we're not going to go get out. But that's one baby. You got multiple kids. Hold on, Leilani. Let me put my glasses on. I can't see. You have kids when you're ready to center your life around those kids. Absolutely. That is what I'm saying. That's everybody talk about you can't it's can't judge. Don't judge people. No judgment. Yes, we judge. We judge. If you don't understand that the child that you are carrying, for whatever reason you're carrying it, if it was a mistake, if you slipped up, the condom broke, you didn't take your pill on time, or if it was a planned situation, either planned good or bad, because not all planned babies Should have been planned. It's a lot of playing babies that's here so that he'll stop being a hoe. It's a lot of poke condoms so that she'll settle down. Sometimes the planning is not in both plans. But don't plan for nothing you can't have by yourself because anything can happen. If you are not 100% ready to understand that this child needs 24-hour a day, 7 day a week you, 365, and not just for 18 years, but for their entire life, don't have them babies. They are nobody's responsibility but yours. Don't sit up here and make your mama and your dad and your grandmama and your auntie or anybody feel bad because they're not willing and able to stop what they're doing. Because you want to go hang out with your girls. Because you didn't plan better. And then you get on, folks get on the internet screaming and hollering and snotting and crying because the villages and nobody's there for me. Well, guess what, Buttercup? That was a real possibility. That was a real possibility. You got to think about that stuff. Kids are not a group project. The only group kids are a group project for you and the person to help you make it. I see people getting on here fussing at their mama because they don't want to. My mama wouldn't take the baby this weekend. I'm not. I don't want to get up early. I don't want to make no bottles. I don't want to change no diapers. I worked all week. And now I got to work on the weekend because you think that because I'm your mama, I'm also their mama too? No. Do y'all know how happy I am that my wife said no when I asked her if she wanted to smoke kids?
How you sleep at 8 before 8 o'clock?
Sometimes you need a nap. I'm talking to you. She said something in the background. Y'all might not have heard her, but anyway. Y'all have no idea how happy I was. My wife said, no, I don't want more kids. We good. You got a boy, I got a girl. We got a boy and a girl. Because right now, my child would be in middle school. And I would be lost my mind. Right now, our children are grown. But guess what? That's still my baby. He can still come crawl in the bed with me.
70366.
And he's still my child. He still got a roof over his head as long as I got one. He still got a meal in his belly as long as I got one. But am I going to babysit just at the drop of a hat because him and his wife decided, or him and his girlfriend, or because he's single or he a single daddy, decided that he didn't want his baby this weekend? Absolutely not. Because guess what, sir? Ma'am? That was your decision. Just like it was mine at 37. To participate in activities that can bring about procreation. Yeah. You can't have babies playing. You can't plan other people's lives around your child and you. That's just not. That's ridiculous. That's redonkulous. Don't do it. It's a conspiracy. Now here I have another thing. So I was watching Karamo today on the talk shows. Today talk shows today were kind of blah because I don't really like the adult parent finder shows. I don't know why. I don't know. Like honey said so. I didn't even live in the same area code as my mama. She called me when she wanted to see them, or she got in the car and came to visit. No one can say I ever said, "Can you watch my kids while I chill?" I mean, no. I mean, if that's the kind of grandparents that you are, and you always want your grandbabies to do that, but you can't base your parentage, your parenthood, your parentness on your parents and on their desire and willingness to help you. Because the reality is, a lot of us can barely help ourselves, let alone help you. And you can't, yeah, you can't do that because it's not realistic, it's not sustainable. You have to, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, realize that now that you are a parent, that this is going to be your life for the rest of your life. And you have to understand that there are sacrifices that you make that come along with being a parent. It just is what it is. Hold on, somebody said, oh, excuse me, I yawned. Hell, when my kids did go somewhere without me, I was sitting there staring at. I know, like now. I like now. Nick is gone. And it's not like, because he was, as boys get older, they pull away from their moms and they go do their own thing. And it's not like he was up under me 24 hours a day, but he was here when he wasn't at work. And now that he's not here, it's like, excuse me, what am I going to do? Where's Nick? I'm going to get a t-shirt. I'm going to get some t-shirts made. Because that's all we say. Where's Nick? And it started out with if we need him to do something. Like before I got my ice maker, and even now, before I got my ice maker, the ice is on the second floor. So I would be like, I want some ice. Where's Nick? That's how it kind of started. And yeah. When he ain't around, it's like, what I'm supposed to do now? I'm somebody's mama. I ain't mommying. But hey, yeah, yeah. On to my next, huh? So, like I said, I was watching today on the talk shows. Today was kind of a, yeah, day on talk shows. I'm not big on, I'm not big on adult paternity shows. Here's why. Being somebody who has never formally met her father, I have never felt the desire to go find him and see what he's doing and take a paternity test and make up for lost time and none of that stuff. So that doesn't interest me. And a lot of times, what pisses me off is not the person who's looking for the parent, but it's the siblings or the children that parent raised. It pisses me off because a lot of times they pissed off and mad with the child that's looking for the daddy that you had. And they mad not with the daddy who was just leaving children around or the mama who was just dropping kids off, but they mad with the sibling. They mad with the person who didn't get to know this person, who didn't get to hang out with this person, who didn't get to bond with this person. You had all of that. It's like I hear a lot of it, and it's normally daughters with fathers. Now there are sometimes it's the mama has left the building, but for the most part in these shows it's the absentee dad and the girls that they left behind. Sometimes it's the guys, but mostly it's girls looking for their daddies. That just is what it is. Um, and when you have other adults that come into the situation, the dad was a gentleman who knew from what he understood and what he was told his entire life that this person was his father. Now this person was not there, I assume, because the girls were like, you just popped up. My daddy died and you just popped up. You not my brother. Da, da, da. Why are you mad? You got what this person is looking for. All this person wants is some kind of closure or some kind of acknowledgement that, hey, I was here too. I don't really like those. So that's what the day was. But there was one on there. The second one. The first one was this was Karama. Was the son looking for the daddy. The second one was a gentleman who has been going through cancer treatments and going through cancer. And one of the treatments he did gave him a form of herpes. I don't think it was a sexually transmitted herpes, and it wasn't caused by sexual content. It was a side effect of one of the treatments that he got. And his wife, and I'm air quoting for a reason. Look at my little fingers. Why my hands so little? And fat. Fat. Anyway, um, and his wife didn't want to have any kind of sex with him or kiss him or anything. So he's going through cancer, going through chemo, trying to live, trying to, and he having to deal with this person that he's in love with, not wanting to be bothered with him. And it was kind of sad. And they went to talking and stuff, and then she comes out. She comes out and said, "Well, we not married." And he's like, "Huh?" "Yeah, we not married. I didn't file that paperwork. I didn't do nothing. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to be with you. No, you will never touch me again. We will never be in the same place again." And I'm sitting there going, why you mad when what he did? And even Karamo was on there confused when she came out and started talking. Cause she came out of him like he did something. She came out there like they was about to fight. Like I'm sitting there going, and well, I never filed the paperwork. We ain't married. He was like, "What? Yeah, we ain't married. I don't want to be with you." Da 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 da. Whoop de whoop. I'm sitting there going, why would you stay with somebody or entertain that and then be this way? If this lady was like that in person on TV, on nationwide TV, how do you think this person was privately? What do you think this man didn't say? Because a lot of men don't want to come out and show their vulnerability and show that that softer side. They just don't. And he's an older black man. And she looked to be significantly younger than him. So I didn't understand why she was so pissed. I don't. I don't get that. That confused me. Hold on. Hold on, Lena. I'm coming. Hold on. Now that makes me think he thinks his herpes came from cancer treatment, but did it actually come from her? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she had it or anything. He knew he got it, right? And I guess he told her about it, and she just kind of, I don't want to kiss you. I don't. She won't kiss me. She won't touch me. But now that I'm thinking the way she came out there, like he had stole something from her. Uh, I'm thinking that here's the thing: when we see these things on talk shows or hell even on excuse me on content and things like that, we only get one side because we don't know what actually went on. We got his side and what she, we get what people feel like happened, and sometimes that may not be what happened at all. So I said that to say this: when you bring your life onto the internet, when you bring your world onto the internet, you have to be ready for strangers to comment and analyze and dissect your life. You have to be ready for that because that's what's going to happen. People going to come in the comment section. People going to leave comments. People gonna talk shit on the live. It just is what it is, and you have to be ready for that. But when people take their lives on the talk shows like Ramo and Steve and Maury, and at what point did you have to, why did it have to get that far? Why didn't you clarify your situation? My problem is not him coming on there. My problem is my problem was 100% with her in this situation as it was brought to us. Why didn't you clarify what you wanted and needed from this man before he had to come on Karamo? Why didn't you say, hey, we not married, I didn't file the paperwork? Why didn't you say, hey, I don't want to be with you, this is over? I mean, why do we have to go to these extremes when a conversation can squash it all? You see what I'm saying? If you didn't want to be with him for whatever reason, it didn't matter if you didn't want to be with him because you got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, you decided that I want to be single. That's fine. It don't matter why you don't want to be with somebody. Shit. I don't like the way you smell no more. It doesn't matter why you don't be with somebody. But at some point, as opposed to bringing this man who has been through cancer, and regardless of whether or not it's terminal, regardless of whether or not he beat it, I can't imagine your doctor saying you have cancer of any form and it not change the entire trajectory of your life, of who you thought you were, of how you live your life. But instead of just going, hey, I don't really want to be with you. It ain't got nothing to do with cancer. It ain't got nothing to do with the herpes. It's just I don't feel that way about you. Instead of just having a conversation with this man, you get pissed off. She came out there like she was mad with him for just, if you didn't, let me tell you something. And you can't say you mad about coming to the show or no shit, because guess what? Don't nobody make you come to Karamo or Steve. Don't nobody make you get on an airplane. Don't nobody make you go in that hotel. You decided that you wanted to air your private business on public TV. So you can't be mad because Karamo and because that man said what he said, because them was his feelings. She came out there red hot fire mad like he did something to her. When the entirety of this was she just didn't want to be with him. She didn't want to be with him from the beginning because I'm assuming they had said some vows or did something, but she didn't file the paperwork. She's like, we ain't married. I didn't do that, and now I'm glad I ain't do it. And Karamo sitting there like, wait, Karamo, this is the first time I ever seen him speechless and dumbstruck at the same time, because he's sitting there going, he didn't even know how to, he just let him talk because he didn't even know what they had to say. And I was with him. I said, did I miss a part of the show? Did something happen? She was just aggressive and pissed off, and just his whole the fact that he was still alive looked like he pissed off. And Karamo finally said, well, hey, asked him, well, what you want to do? He said, well, ain't nothing I can't do. He said, I I can't stay with somebody who don't love me back. I can't be in love with somebody who don't love me. I ain't say I didn't love you. I just said I wasn't in love. No, you said you didn't love me. I hate when people say I got love for you. Bitch, I got love for chocolate cake. Why I don't want to marry. I got love for ferrets. But if I don't have one, I live. I got love for unicorns. But they don't have any bearing on my life. I hate when people say I got love for you. When somebody say I love you, just tell the truth. I don't love you back. I wanted something from you. I've gotten what I wanted from you. And that's it. And I know that's not reality. I know that people are not going to come out and say that. I wish they would, though. I wish, I'm going to tell you now, older, that I'm older, and I look back on all the, hold on, maybe she was hoping for his life insurance, because they don't have to be married as long as right. I don't know. again, they didn't go into any great detail. It's just that how he was talking and how she came out there. Well, like there was two different people in two different relationships having two different situations. It was like they didn't even come on the plane together. That's how different how it was. Because I'm like, they didn't even act like they was friendly. Well, he did, but she did. She sat facing him, away from him, not all the way on the couch, but like at any moment she gonna up and run. You know what I'm saying? If you know, if anybody studies body language and pays attention to it, she was very confrontational about a situation that didn't need confrontation. And you know, Karamo do the we you know unlock the phone thing. So they had unlocked both of the phones, but Karamo said, "We don't need this," and he just threw the little piece of paper from the unlocking away. And I'm like, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, she didn't like him and never did. Right, but why? You know what? When I was younger, and I used to wonder about why people would be prostitutes and hoes and stuff like that. Cause I'm not wondering about why you would ask for money for sex. That's not what I'm talking about. I was wondering why you would get a pimp and then get a pimp all your money. That's what I wonder about. It wasn't about the monetary exchange for sex. I didn't care about that. I'm like, hell, you should pay for it because if it's good. Because sometimes everybody's not worthy. And you got to buy it. That is what it is. And for every woman that will keep sex from her man until she buys her purse that she wants or her nails to get her done or her hair getting done, please stop thinking you above somebody who is actually making a transaction. I'm going to leave that there. But I used to wonder why. If you gonna do your thing, do your thing. You shouldn't be no middleman. Cause I used to I don't know if anybody remembers. Leilani, do you remember? It was on HBO. It was Pimps Up, Holds Down. It was a documentary that used to come on. It used to come on like I don't remember how many they got, but and it used to have pimps, and you would get some prostitutes. But most of the prostitutes were still prostitutes. You get some bottom bitches every now and again talking. It was one or two madams, but most of them was pimps. And they would talk about, there was one, it was Pimp Don the Magic Wand. Bishop Pimp, Pimp Bishop, I couldn't remember. No, it was Pimp Bishop Don the Magic Wand. And he said, I'll pimp my mama. That's what he said. And I was like, but why would she give you her money? I never understood that. Because if you hear Taylor, the pimp will tell you, I have protection. I make sure she got clothes. I make sure she go to the doctor. Da 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 da. Hold on, hold on. You remember? Yeah. They should bring that back. Anyway. But, and I would listen to the different pimps talk, right? And I listened to the pimp speak and all the stuff. And it never, and you know, as I tell y'all all the time, I'm one of them people that no matter what you tell me, if I don't understand it, I'm not going to understand it. One, I think it's probably because I don't want to understand it. I never understood the pimp prostitute dynamic. Here's why. Because the product is 100% mine. The product. I'm the product. I'm the look, I'm the mouth, I'm the front, I'm the back. I'm the product. It's just like our content is 100% ours. I am the content. I am the product. It's like with prostitution, any sex work. I don't understand somebody who is not setting that ass out getting the money. Now, if we tag teaming somebody, I'll share. I never understood that. I never understood the desire, the need to degrade somebody and get them so beat down that they will prostitute themselves for you. I never understood that. Because I'm the product. I mean, because guess what? There are women out there who pay for ding ding. There are women out there. So why you ain't out there swinging dangling? If sex is your thing, why you ain't out there? Why I gotta give up my coochie elasticity for your pocketbook? Well, I take 90% and then from her 10%, I buy her. Wait. I never understood that. Um, but and I don't even know why I started talking about pimps and hoes. But anyway, I'm feeling like old girl was like she got what she wanted out of this man, and like I said, he looked older than her, and he was not what I would consider attractive, but I'm sure he's a nice enough man. I mean, he didn't he didn't give off creepy vibes. He didn't give off old
I need
old
this shirt.
lechy man vibes. He just was an old man who had went through a health scare and a health situation, and the woman that he was in love with made him feel worse. But I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. You could have just at home. You could have told this man we not married for real. And I don't want to be with you anymore at all. Why bring it to the TV so that we can see? And then you make yourself look bad because she didn't look good in the situation. Because she wasn't talking to him like she loved him at all. You know how you got people that are just they've grown apart, but you could see where the love was. You know what I mean? You ever dated somebody? It's just it didn't work out between y'all. Maybe it wasn't any cheating. Maybe it was, but for whatever reason, you don't hate this person. But when you're talking to or about this person, you can see where the love had been at one point. It didn't look like she liked him at all. It looked like he just met her yesterday. And I am so confused about situations like that. I never understood why people act like that towards somebody. And clearly, this man loved her because that's why he was on there. He was on there so he could get her back. But yeah, that was that. And can you, okay, and can you, if you, okay, so there was another one on Steve. It was a couple and they did OnlyFans content to where they were doing porn for OnlyFans for content. But can you get mad with your partner? This is just I don't know what they're thinking. I'm just asking. These are just questions. I'm not referring to them. They just make me think about stuff. If you are a sex worker of any kind and you do that sex work with your partner and your partner and a lot of times somebody who is cool with videos and pictures being taken of themselves for content and to be for other people to see are also flirty in nature and outgoing and sexual in nature. If your content and how you make your money and how you do your thing is sex, can you be mad when other people want to have sex with them? Can you be mad when other people treat them like the porn stars that y'all are? I don't know. So Leilani, here's my question. You and your partner make content for OnlyFans or the internet or for whatever, sexual content, whatever. And y'all get paid. That's how y'all make y'all money. That's how y'all pay your bills. Can you be mad when other people who have watched your content, who have seen what y'all do, want your man or your woman, depending upon who you are? I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. One, I don't think I could do content with my partner. I don't know if I could do content. I don't know. Like I said, I'm cool with sex work. I think that it should be legal. I think that there should be brothels in every city and every, I don't think that it should be illegal. I think that we have sex trafficking and people use I think that because it is illegal, because it is what it is, You have a lot of chances for sex trafficking, abuse, rape. Serial killers get to hide in the dark because nobody cares about them. I think that if it was more regulation and it was more mainstream, that the people who are going to do it would fare better. That's just me. Hold on. Let me see. That's just jealousy because they just not just wanting, not getting. But I mean, I'm not, again, like I said, I don't think, well, I know not now. I don't know, maybe when I was younger, like I said, if I was a little more secure in my body when I was younger, I don't know. I probably would have been. But no, anyway, I digress. But if you're making content of a sexual nature, can you be pissed off with your partner? Because y'all are building your brand on sex. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when a dude goes to a strip club, meets a stripper, dates the stripper, and then get mad because the stripper is stripping. What? Boy, I met you in Magic City, and I was not a waitress. I was not the bartender. You think I'm gonna stop what I'm doing? You think I'm gonna stop my $3, $4, $5,000 weekends for you? And it is never somebody who can replace the money that they want you to stop making. You ever notice that? When you find a dude that dates a stripper, or a female, or a girl that dates a stripper, a woman that dates a stripper, there's never somebody who can replace the money they want you to stop making on the weekend. Because every now and again I'll get when I'm scrolling, I'll see like the girls, they'll count their money. A lot of them stop doing it because people are people. And if you're making content where you counting up your money from what you make on these nights and you telling people where you stripping at, you are risking your life. Because don't nobody got no swipe. And this is not tip drill. Don't nobody got no swipe in their ass. People are coming out of there with $2, $3, $4,000, and someday somebody gonna be waiting on you. So a lot of girls that used to do that, I see stop doing it. Hold on. If I was doing OnlyFans with Vance, I would not care about women hitting on him. However, if he had sex with them, I'm done. I forget, man. We just done. I don't share. Right. But okay. You say you don't share, but isn't me ogling you and Vance doing the nasty a form of sharing? I mean, I don't think that I could do a threesome with my wife because I think that I would be jealous. I don't know, because I'm not necessarily a jealous person about her going out or hanging out with women. I that doesn't bother me. I don't know that I can be in a sexual situation with my wife and I'll be cool with it, especially if that person is showing her more attention than I think is necessary. I just don't think I can do it. Now, I've never been in a threesome situation, so I don't know if I could do a threesome with friends. Does that make sense? I know I couldn't do one with my wife. Now, could I do one with my girlfriend and her girlfriend or whatever, whoop de whoop? I don't know. I'm too old right now to care about that stuff. But I I don't think I think I'd be alright if we weren't married. I think the vows change that. You know what I'm saying? But you know how people are on the internet, and people become invested in internet personas. People become invested in strangers. That's why you got trolls. You got people that spend days. All they do is sit on the internet and go to random videos like our live and come in there and saying messed up stuff to people, and they get invested in strangers' lives. Hold on. I don't think them watching from their own comfort is shame. Okay, because I wouldn't make YouTube videos at all if I felt like, okay, gotcha. So I'm just asking because, again, I mean, I can't imagine somebody right now is watching our video from their bed and what, you know what I'm saying. So I understand that content is content, and if you are going to be online, if you're going to be making content for whatever platform you're on, you have to be okay with the fact that people are watching you, and I'm cool with that. But overtly sexual content is a little different, so that's why I was asking. And I got you. No, I don't. I don't think I could be in a polygamous situation. I don't think I could be in a sister. I know I couldn't be in a sister wife situation because that shit is crazy to me. Hold on, somebody came in. Hey, Magdalene. Hey, y'all. I know I couldn't be in a sister wife situation because here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. In a situation where it's a husband, a legal wife, and then y'all go out and get other wives, but it's not wives for the couple, it's wives for the husband. I feel like you just shouldn't have got married and you could just go freeball it out there. Y'all can live in a free willing commune. And I would feel in that particular situation wouldn't, because at some point there's always going to be someone that gets more attention, more love, and there's going to be some jealousy, even if it's not overt, even if the other people don't say anything about it. The reality is that there's going to be somebody jealous because he's going to spend an extra day in somebody's room, and he's going to spend an extra hour in somebody's bed. He's going to defer to one of the wives more than he defers to the other wife. And they have sister husbands, but it's not as much, you know. And that's different than polygamy. I think where everybody doing the thing. Like, I'm greedy. Yeah, it's not just greedy for me, because yes, I'm greedy. I feel like all your time should be with me. It's not just that. It's just that I'm more worried about an emotional connection than a sexual connection. Because the reality is you can want to have sex with somebody that you don't give a shit about. I don't know why people, and I think that's where a lot of young people get all messed up, is they think that sex equates love and feelings and caring. When sex is just sex, sex is just hunching. You can have sex with anybody if they willing, you willing, and the time is right. I would have issue. I would take issue with emotions, with my with DC treating another person like she treat me. Absolutely not, Satan. That is against the rules. And there are rules and regulations to this. And I just think I don't know. This just, again, these are my thoughts. And I don't have to do it. But I don't understand it either. It's like, y'all watch the sister wife thing. So the initial one was Cody and his wives. He had about 4 or 5 on. And he brought in a young one, and eventually he's down to one wife. And they did it's on TLC, because I told y'all TLC is from the devil. I don't care what nobody say. TLC is from the devil because the stuff that it does, and absolutely not. But so thank you.
You got like a teaspoon.
Okay. Um it's like they, every time I'm out they pull me back in. But no. Um so he went from 4 wives to one. And even the latest sister wife said, I did not get in this to be monogamous. And that's what threw me. That's why I'm talking about this now. Because that threw me. Are there people, and at some point, if somebody comes across this video and you are someone who likes polygamous situations and sister wife, sister husband situations. I'm not talking about polyamory, which is completely different, which I think is everybody's doing it. I don't think it's sister wife, sister, brother, husband. I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying. I think in polyamory is everybody is everybody, and then you have a sister brother situation where you have the main and then the whatever. But she said we didn't do this to be monogamous. But here's the thing: the women are monogamous because the women are not having sex with each other or anybody else. It's the dude that's not monogamous. Hold on. Here I come. There's a new one where it's 2 couples that switch husbands every day, I think, but one of the wives is bisexual. Yeah! Right. But see, here's the thing, straight and jealous, which is weird. Right. Here's I know the one you're talking about. The dude, okay. That's crazy. So it's the couple, but the women want to. The dudes don't. But what's happening is that the husband of one is the boyfriend to the wife of the other, but the wife of the other wants to also be with the boyfriend's wife. First of all, that's very confusing. I feel like I just had a stroke trying to just say that out loud. And then there is the fourth, the husband of the girlfriend who just had a baby. And they didn't want to know. I think that was stupid. That pissed me off. She just had a baby. And they didn't want to know who the father was because they didn't want to know. But they kind of found out who the father was, and it wasn't her husband, it was her boyfriend. But the extra husband, who I think is the oldest out of all of them, was perving on this little girl because he's known her since she was a teenager. Hold on. Right. Hold on. All right. She met another woman with a man and they want to join too. Right. But she doesn't want any of that. She got into this situation. Here's what happened was. So they were talking about it. I haven't heard of that. I don't even know if that show is still on because I really haven't heard of it lately. It used to be everywhere. It used to be up and down my timeline, but I haven't heard of it lately. He thought that he was gonna get into this situation and he was gonna get some extra coochie from the wife, but she don't want to do it with him. Don't nobody want to be with him because he's mean to the kids. But he don't take care of his own kids. He got from a separate situation he had for her because he's old enough to be this girl daddy. He's known this child when she started working in the restaurant that he was managing when she was a teenager. He been pushing on up her since she was 16, 17 years old. And I guess she thought she was doing something. She thought that this grown man likes me. It's great. And he must be this, and the third. But it's something wrong with him. But now they want to add somebody to the mix. And the only one again ain't cool with it is her husband, who got pissed off because they didn't want to know who the daddy of the baby was, which is fucking stupid. Because I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, he's mean to the kids and he tries to discipline the children and they're not his. But he don't want to take care of the kids that are his by another separate wife that I think he had that he cheated on his wife with this girl. But he don't want to deal with his kids, but he want to parent those people kids. And then he got pissed off because he found out he wasn't a daddy. Sir, hopefully she will realize that she was groomed. And that since these people actually like her and want to be with her, that she'll just deal with the couple and let him go back to whatever rock he crawled out from under. Hold on. The bald dude. Yes. He acts like, I think he's older than everybody. And he wants to act like everybody daddy, but he's not. The wife from the other guy, the bearded guy, she don't want to deal with him because if you ever pay attention to the to when they do the sit downs on the couch, the young girl will sit in between her husband and her boyfriend, and the wife will sit on the side of her husband. Don't nobody want to deal with him. And if it was they were sitting the way they really want to be sitting, both of the women be sitting on the other side of the dude with the beard, and the bald headed dude be sitting over there by himself looking stupid. Cause there's something wrong with him. I see some violence. I see some ID channel in their future if they keep this shit up. I'm just saying. On to another talk show situation. Well, not talk show, but reality show. So Love is Blind is on Netflix. And if anybody who doesn't know what Love is Blind is, hold on. Telling the one dude who is the kid's father, he can't, right, because they're on punishment. Boy, if you don't get out of my face, you can't punish my children. I don't understand that relinquishing your rights as a parent because you done brought some extra adult in the situation. First of all, he can't regulate his own self. How you gonna have him regulating your children? And you can't have. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. And whatever whoop de whoop. You cannot have somebody you know actively pursue a teenager as a grown ass man around my little girls. Absolutely not, Satan. I don't care if he didn't do it. I don't care if he waited till she was 18. He was looking at her when she was 16. He was looking at her when she was 15. She was looking at her when she was a teenager. He just waited for it to be legal so he couldn't go to jail. And guess what? You got 2 or 3 little girls in the house. When are you gonna start waiting for them to get old enough? Absolutely not, Satan. First of all, they just be doing that stuff and it bothers me. It irks me, but it's their life. And we're the ones who have to deal with the fallout. We the ones gonna have to deal with trying to what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? We're the ones gonna have to deal with the children who come out of these situations. Because I don't think people who go on these shows and do these things realize that your 1 or 2 years of fame that you get on TLC, because that's all TLC do is mess you up, is these children gonna have to deal with that crazy shit for the rest of their life. Hold on. Right. But I digress. On to Love is Blind. So I don't really watch these shows. So um most of the time I see shows like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, all these things. Um I see them on my timelines, my news feeds, things like that. So Love is Blind is a show that's on Netflix, and it is people are in the pods, and what the pods are is instead of seeing what somebody looks like, you only can talk to this person and get to know this person without seeing the physical person, without whether or not you like the way they look or whatever. You get to know the inside of a person before the outside. And a lot of times you come out of the situations and they get engaged. And it's supposed, I think it's a marriage at the end after you get engaged and go on a vacation and I think you live together. I don't really watch it all the way. But there was a black couple and I think his name is Edmund. Now, from what people are saying, I'm not attacking this man because I don't know whether or not he is autistic or there's actually something wrong with him. I'm just talking about the personality he's showing the world. So they go through the pods, they go through getting to know each other, and it's him and a black lady. I think her name is Casey or Kate something. I don't know what her name is. Um, it started with a K, and his name is Edmund. The only reason I know his name is because they've been talking about him for a minute and what he did. So they go through the pods, and now they're on vacation. I want to say they're in Mexico. I think after the pods and after they get engaged or after they break up, whichever one, the people who get engaged stay, the other people leave, and then they go on like a vacation. So they're in Mexico and they're sitting in the beds and they're talking. And she's talking about her past and how she's had one night stands and how she's had sex with people that she didn't see herself in a long term relationship with. But she's decided that at this time and in her stage of life that she's not going to do that. She said, I from now on I want to have more of a connection with somebody before it becomes physical. So I think the night before the guys were together and they were out getting drunk and talking, and everybody who got engaged and who is on the vacation in Mexico has had sex but him and her. So he's sitting up there crying, slobbing, spit flying, talking about, I'm a nice guy. It's because I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm the only one who hasn't had sex. You don't want to give me any. I'm sitting there going, I'm like, is that how the straights ask for sex? I'm like, baby, you can't. She just met you. If she has changed the way she approaches relationships, yeah, he was on the bed crying. talking about everybody else that did it. I'm a nice guy. I'm not gonna do all that hollering and crying he did. But basically, what he's saying, he's a nice guy. He always finishes last. He's such a nice guy. He kept saying how he was the nicest nice guy. Nice. He was just a nice guy, and he always gets left behind. No, you're crazy. You don't get asked because there's something wrong with you. Now I don't know if he's crazy for real. It is and he could be acting for the camera. I think that a lot of times when people go in these particular situations, they're not going on there to find love for real. A lot of people go on Love is Blind, Love Island, Married at First Sight, not for a true connection, but their foray into uh, social media, influencing, and getting money. It is what it is. Now, if that stuff had been around when I don't know if I could have did the whole Married at First Sight thing. I don't think I could have did that because I would have seen like 2 seasons of Married at First Sight and noticed that they don't put you with somebody that you actually want to be with, and they be experimenting on your ass. And I don't think I could have went on Married at First Sight. Uh, I might have could have did Love Island, but I don't think that I could just be kissing and slobbing on behind everybody. I mean, it's one thing for somebody to be cheating on you and you to not know they're kissing somebody else. It's a whole nother thing for somebody to come to your mouth with still somebody wet, juicy, slobby lipstick on. No, no, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do the love shows. I would have did something else. Maybe Bad Girls Club. I don't know. Back when I thought I was bad girl. But I don't even know if I could have did that because I got one time before back in the day before I was swinging or before we was fighting. So I don't even think I could have did that because I think I just would have went to jail. I don't know if I could have did any of them. You never know. But he is on there. I don't think anybody going there for love because that's crazy. You got this wedding. You going to you bought an engagement ring. Now I don't know if they buy the engagement ring or they out of pocket buy the engagement ring or the show gives them the money to buy the engagement ring. I personally would not go buy an engagement ring for somebody I don't know. But again, like I said, you never know. But you expect this woman who just physically seen you in a public forum, because regardless of whether or not you are, what's the word? Regardless of whether or not you looking for love, this is not a personal, private situation. This is a public forum. And first of all, why are you and a bunch of grown ass men over here talking about what y'all sex life? Why are y'all doing it? That's some kiddie stuff. That's number one. Number two, you on here begging this woman for some when she's told you on multiple occasions before you even got to this situation how she feels about sex and when she wants to do it and how she wants it to happen. And now you're on TV in front of the cameras, boohoo crying, snot flying, slob hanging out the side of your mouth, talking about how you a nice guy and you always finish last. That's not why you finish last. There's something wrong with this. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to speculate on something wrong with him. But y'all go look up, if y'all see this, y'all go look up on either YouTube or on TikTok. Just put in the search engine Edmund Love is Blind, and y'all will see what I'm talking about. Edmund Love is Guy, nice guy. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. All of us want to go viral. All of us want to have that moment to where the world recognizes our talent. Uh, but there's so many people that go viral and they don't have content to back it up. Don't have a talent. Don't have a personality. Don't have what's needed to sustain a successful channel. I get that that's what we do a lot of times. But at some point, you got to have a little self respect, a little dignity, a little something with yourself. You out here screaming and begging this woman, talking about the reason you don't get none is because you a nice guy. I'm almost positive that's not why, sir. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm almost positive that is not why. I'm just saying. That's all I got to say about that. Hold on. Child, I typed in Edmund Love is my he. I'm telling you, Love is Blind. He was on there. He was this how he was. Hold on, hold on. He was like he had a pillow. Imagine this pillow. Oh, I'm such a nice guy. I'm like, I'm in there. I'm looking at I'm looking at my phone like this, girl. If you don't get your shit and get out of that room, for you be on the next episode of Evil Lives Here or whatever ID channel show that I can think of, ma'am, you are not safe. It is not safe where you are right now. And here's my thing. I don't want to say all men, but a lot of times it is. And I just use all as a general term because I know it's not absolute. There are no absolutes in anything. Here lately, I have seen men get a little less lovey-dovey with women and a lot more my way or the highway. Uh,
I made a mistake.
okay, hold on.
Get off of this.
The man was eating books. It for real? I didn't even see the booger part. I just thought they was talking about when he was crying and the side was flying. Really? Is it, Leilani? Is it that hard out there to get a man? That this is the men that y'all gotta just resort to? Is it that hard? I know I ain't been in the game in a minute. I definitely ain't been in the man game in a minute. But is it that hard? Do we all gotta settle for booger eaters? At what point do you just be like, you know what? You know what? I can go on Amazon right now and get a toy named Herbert for $29.95 and be sexually fulfilled without the other stuff. How you gonna tell the world my husband eat boogers?
Jax.
Even Jax know that that's nasty.
Come here, Jax. Jax.
Hold on.
How you looking out the window with the glass closed? Come here.
Oh, you know I've been. Is it that? I mean. That's a long time. I mean. I don't even know y'all. But anyway, what time? How long we been on here today? Hold on. Been on here an hour and a half. I'm about to go. Because it's been an hour and a half. And I gotta eat dinner. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. Thank you, Leilani and Magdalene and Journey and everybody else who's stopped by. If I didn't say your name, it wasn't because I just didn't see it. That's why. Thank you so much for your likes, your views, your comments, and everything. Make sure you hit me up in the comments and let me know what else to talk about. A lot of my content, a lot of stuff I talk about, I'm just rambling. So hey, throw something in there and I'll add it to the ramble. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that when I go live and do this, you guys can join me and we can talk about people. So thank you so much for your support. This is your girl Lisa, and I'm out. Bye, y'all.